Turtle Beach is firing on all cylinders. The company has been releasing a slew of new gaming controllers, and many of these controllers are now considered to be among the best in the business. One of its most recent models is the new Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra. The Stealth Ultra is notable for a number of reasons. For starters, it has a display on it that allows users to tweak settings and controls and even get notifications straight from their phone. But, of course, features like that come at a price. The Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra costs $200, which is a lot for a gaming controller. Is the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra worth the relatively high price, or should you look elsewhere for your Xbox game controller? Perhaps the most important aspect of any gaming controller is how it feels, and thankfully the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra has largely nailed the feel. The controller feels premium and comfortable to hold, with buttons easily reachable and excellent feeling. The layout is obviously very similar to other Xbox controllers, like the official Xbox wireless controller, but with the Xbox button moved a little lower to accommodate for the display. But there are some other physical buttons that you won't find on most other Xbox controllers. For starters, there are 4 rear buttons that can be mapped and are accessible with the middle finger on each hand. Not only that, but there are 2 switches on the back to adjust the trigger stops, which can come in handy for those who want the triggers to react a little more quickly. On top of all these additional controls, the Stealth Ultra also comes with some handy accessories. The most important is the wireless charging dock, which magnetically attaches to the bottom of the controller and charges it with the 3 pogo pins. The charging dock is nice, but it's very lightweight, so unless you adhere it to a surface, you won't be able to just pick up your controller and go. The dock will come with it. You'll have to physically hold down the dock to take the controller off of it. It's not really a big deal though. On top of the dock, the controller also comes with a really nice hard carry case that's perfect for those who want to take their controller on the go. Everything else about the design of the controller is very premium. As mentioned, it feels great in the hand, and the thumbsticks, while non-replaceable, feel grippy and easy to control. It is important to note that they're non-replaceable though, especially considering the fact that some other Turtle Beach controllers do have replaceable thumbsticks. That's not something I've ever personally relied on, but if it's something you care about, you'll need to know about that before you buy. The controller also has customizable RGB lighting, which not only looks cool, but can signal things like notifications and battery status. All of the buttons on the controller feel great too. I really like the clicky feel of the buttons, as they help make for a more tactile experience. That's true of all the buttons on the controller, including the aforementioned 4 programmable buttons on the bottom. Of course, the headline feature here has little to do with the build quality or feel of the controls. After all, there are plenty of Xbox controllers out there that feel great and have a premium build and don't cost $200. The big feature on the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra, of course, is the display that's built into it and what you can do with it. The Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra can connect to the Turtle Beach Command Center 2 software, available on smartphones and on Windows. I found this software to be the worst thing about the controller. It's buggy and barely works properly, plus the design is very dated. I had trouble even setting up the controller in the app in the first place, which was a huge issue. But if you want notifications, you'll have to set it up in the app on your phone, if you can. It seems like Turtle Beach could have built a much better app with not that much effort. But the software built into the controller allows you to do pretty much everything else except get notifications. I found that this software was relatively easy to navigate and get used to. You'll access the software simply by pressing the little plus button towards the bottom of the front of the controller, after which the display will guide you through how to access different controls. From here, you can access settings for the controller, including things like brightness, screen timeout, and more, straight from the controller itself. Not only that, but you can map buttons and set joystick response curves too, so you won't necessarily have to rely on the smartphone app if you don't want to, and you probably will not want to. If you do set it up properly, the controller can display notifications from your phone. This, unfortunately, was a feature that I just couldn't test. I couldn't get the controller to work properly with the app. To be fair, during testing, I was running a beta version of iOS on my phone, so it's possible that that had something to do with the bugginess that I experienced. That said, even if I was able to get it set up, based on online commentary, it seems like the feature isn't that useful anyway. Some of that seems to be related to it being difficult to even see the notifications on the controller, as they don't pop up right away on the screen. Instead, you have to dig through settings to access them. For many users, I don't think notifications will be the main selling point of this controller in the first place, though. I have an Apple Watch, and usually my phone is within reach when I'm gaming, so I don't really need an extra display to get notifications on. Others may have different notification needs, so some might find it useful. Just keep in mind that it can be difficult to set up, and even when it is set up, it can be a pain to use. But I don't think that negates the need for a controller like this in the first place. As mentioned, notifications are just one of many features that you can access through the display on the controller itself. And thankfully, you don't need to use the app to set those things up. Apart from the software in the controller, other things are to be expected. Turtle Beach claims that the controller will get 30 hours of battery life, and while I didn't specifically test this, I'm not sure I quite reached that mark. Of course, that's not necessarily a huge issue considering the fact that the controller comes with a charging dock. So if you remember to put the controller on the dock when you're not using it, you shouldn't really run into issues related to battery. So the question is the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra worth $200? Ultimately, I find the controller to be excellent. It looks good and feels great, and offers a range of advanced features that can give gamers an edge. Just don't expect to be able to rely heavily on the notifications feature. Notifications aside though, if you plan on using the display to tweak things like programmable buttons and set up profiles for different games, for example, you might find the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra to be super helpful. And if that's you, I do think that the controller is worth the money. Even without the display, it would feel excellent. It looks good, feels great, and I love all the extra features that it offers.